Today we have a wonderful show. It's called In the Army Now.
That's
Yes,
not what
yes.
it's called.
I know that. What is the name of the show? Actually, now I think about it.
So we
In the Army Now. Yes.
no, we titled it "You're
You're
Out."
out.
So now what?
You know what?
Yeah, it's
I
on the
don't know
dock.
that I don't know that I knew that until just this moment. And now that I'm thinking about that title, like you're out, I'm like, is he out the closet? Like, where's he out of? Like, I don't know.
Oh God!
I'm concerned now. I didn't even know.
Will
Not
say that. I will say that she did tell me that was going to be the name of it. When you said
weeks
it,
ago.
it's not my show. I just figured I'll let it fly. I'm just.
You didn't have any objections when I told you.
Here
Y'all
we go.
You
funny.
say out the army now, what? We can add army in there.
Too many words.
It's okay. It's okay.
I want to draw
got
them
it.
in because now they don't know what they're coming into. So it's like,
You damn right. That's like me going to that club called the DL last week. I didn't know what I was going in. This shit
Oh
crazy.
yeah, we was moving
It's
and
on
grooving on
Delancey
the
Street.
DM.
That's why it's called the DL. But
Nah,
the
he
name
went
of
to
the
Club
club
DL.
is the DL. It's called the DL.
Was it a good time? I think is that the right question.
It was fine. I was there for a birthday party. So you asked the right question. They were playing Afrobeat. They did all the right things. It's just that
Okay.
name was fucking with me. You
No,
know.
that's true.
Because it's not 1995 anymore. You know what I mean? So, you know.
But there's still brothers on the DL though. That's a whole nother show.
There's a couple, one or two, I'm sure.
Let's
Not
get
more than
into it, y'all. Let's get into it.
CULTURE 101. CULTURE 101. See what it is, what's happening. Welcome back, welcome black, welcome to Culture 101 Podcast, where we move the culture forward and what? Have a damn good time doing it. I'm Trist. I am 1/3 of the collective, one of your hosts. I'm posted up here in Harlem, USA. It's getting better every week. It's getting better
They
every
sound like,
week.
is it?
Rep the
Every
US.
week.
But who
No,
said it was getting
USA.
better?
No, but you know what? People, it's funny you should say that.
People
So
do not.
No. Well, actually, they kind of do. So it was funny because I was talking to a friend of mine, right? And they're in LA, and they were like, I
Okay.
talked to all these Harlem people, and like, where is Harlem? I'm like, what do you mean, where is Harlem? It's in Manhattan,
What?
where it's always been. They're like, they act like it's a whole borough. I'm like, that's real. People do act like Harlem is the borough. Like, depending on who you
They
talk
do.
to, people will be like, yeah, bro. Like, they'll be naming all the boroughs, like, yeah, Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem. Well, hold up. Wait. That's around 50 blocks, but you know, whatever. But
They do that. Yeah.
who is
I do
not in
that.
Harlem is a young lady that's in. Well, actually, where are you right now? Are you in the DMV? You on the move right now? Because we got to throw it over to Shauna
Where
Dime.
is Shauna San
Hey,
Diego?
Yeah,
like a
where is
mug?
Not
Shauna
trying to
Santiago?
say go. Well, I didn't even start my travels yet. This week, I will be bouncing from here to there on my little HBCU tour, visiting my schools that I represent.
Come on.
Hey.
But for right now, I'm
love
in these
that.
streets. I'm in Maryland. I'm chilling.
Come on, streets.
Y'all, why the hell is it starting to get dark at 3:00?
Oh yeah,
I was trying to think
it's
of what I
funny.
did
It's
this
funny you
weekend,
should
and I'm
say
like,
that.
well, damn, the weekend went by so quick. I don't know what I did.
Yes.
Daylight
Yeah.
savings.
No, I had a meet and greet earlier, and someone was Taylor was
Meet
out.
and
She's
greet.
like,
Come on.
chill out. It was with a dog. It's with a dog.
Oh. I thought it was for, film or something. Like, okay.
No,
Cool.
not that type of meet and greet. It would be
Okay.
nice. It would be dope,
It's
but
coming.
no.
It's coming. 2024.
Speak it, actualize it. We love it. But no, it was just I was going up to me. She's like, "Isn't it so late?" I'm like, "It's 4:30. It's 4:30. It's just dark
That's
outside."
real.
So, but is it dark in Texas?
It is dark in Texas.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's real.
We get, dark early nowadays. But, I didn't let that stop me from having a good time this weekend.
What
I
you
was
do?
in the Houston street. I was in the Houston streets, specifically Sugarland, which I guess you can
Back
equate
at
it
it,
to
huh?
like Harlem and Manhattan. I was actually like chilling for the most part. I wasn't like in the streets, but I did go to the Honeyland Festival, which this was their first year, so their inaugural festival, and it's basically like food, beverage, and music type of festival. It was really cute. Like, of course, there were some notes for next year, but it being the first time, they really did a good job.
Of course.
They did a good job overall. The only thing that sucked was the weather because it was raining. Like Saturday, the rain held off, which we were grateful for. But Sunday wasn't supposed to start raining until like about 7 p.m. and that's what time we had planned to leave. But as soon as we got there at like 3, it just started trickling. So they did give out ponchos and stuff like that, and we stayed to see some of the performances. Like we saw Chloe on Saturday. We saw Toby, Summer Walker.
What was Chloe wearing? What she have on?
She had on like this black like leather number or whatever, looking just beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, body's
Describe that
amazing.
in detail. The listeners are curious.
Well, you can look on Instagram. It's on there. Okay. It's on her Instagram and Honeyland Festival Instagram. But
Right.
they did great. We left before Miguel came on because I've already seen Miguel before.
What?
So
Dang, I was
Yeah.
staying in
Yeah,
the
you
rain
don't
for
wanna see him
Miguel. I
hang
love
from-
me some Miguel performance.
I love
saying.
Miguel too, but it was already
But
hectic.
you didn't want to see
trying
him
to
hang
leave.
from the hooks in his
I
back?
really didn't. And that was my thing. If I had seen that, I would have been grossed out. So I'm glad I didn't stay. And then Sunday we saw Coco Jones. She did a great job. We saw Lucky Day, and then we saw Tim's. I was like, oh, look at Tim's up there doing her thing.
How
She
was
is so
Tim's
beautiful.
live?
She's so good. She sounds just like a record. She be giving a little dance in here, so just be shaking all that African beauty. I be like, yes, she looks so good.
What does she have on?
She had on this what is it, Ryan Moogler or whatever the designer Moogler is with the moons or whatever. Her and her dancers had that on. I'm thinking I'm associating that with the
I
correct
have
designer.
no idea what that is, but I mean, I'm shout him
Yeah,
out.
me either.
Okay, Mugler. All right.
You know, I'm not a fashion girl like that, but I think I'm correct. But she had like, this kind of like bodysuit type of thing. Just looked gorgeous, like makeup on point, hair on point, had her heels on. I'm like, girl, you better than me because I would have been in some sneakers on these festival stages.
And in the rain.
Yep.
Trying to show off,
I
man.
can't
She
even
don't
walk
look.
in the non-rain with the heels on. I would have to take my heels off.
No, for real. But we didn't see Mary J perform last night. But again, she didn't go on till like 9:30 or something like that. And we were like, the rain, we can't do it. I wanted to see Auntie because I hadn't seen her before, but I was like, next time.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it before. Like, I have seen it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Not
Overall,
to disparage Mary J. Blige. We
of
love her.
course. We love Mary. Mary, come on the podcast.
I seen her
We
live
got some
before
questions
too,
for you.
but I was in another mind state when it happened. It was really bad, so I don't really know.
Yeah,
I gotta tell y'all off
cannot.
recording what happened, but
Okay.
good time though.
That sounds like a good time. Okay. But yeah, so that was my weekend. What did y'all get into this weekend? I know Tristan did something.
I did, but like it was. I feel like it was asinine productivity. Is what it was. Like I have this new gig. Like I'll be doing some part-time stuff at the skating rink. Like they're paying me to skate. I can't.
Well, ain't that perfect for you? Look at
It
God.
is. Yes, it works. I love it. And it's for the ice skating rink too, which is dope. But like the
Okay.
asinineness comes because like New York is just so silly with shit. Like so we go get this paperwork right now. I'm thinking that, I'm going up to this thing. This is gonna be simple. We're gonna have a quick conversation. Hey, how old are you? Where you live? Hey, can you do these hours? We're gonna pay you this much. Boom, 15 minutes. I thought I'd be in and out. Gone.
Did they
Like,
want
I
you to
was
do a
there.
skate demo?
No, I had really hoped there was.
Oh, he wanted to show out.
Yeah.
Right? No, it wasn't. It was just like they definitely asked me could I skate like 10 times. I'm like, the answer's not going to change. Yes, the answer is yes. It's definitely yes. Like, but no, like it was just ridiculous. The interview process. They were like two of them. Like they brought me in like this classroom, right? And like they sent me in like
Classroom.
this is exactly what happened. They brought me in this classroom with like it was like a dance classroom because they had the big ass mirrors, and then they had a table and one chair, and then they had and then they had a table across with two chairs, and they were both sitting down.
Just imagine like
staring me
saying the
down.
Last Dance auditions.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm like.
right.
You and Julia Stiles right now. Live your
Right.
dreams. It's not as hard as it may seem.
Didn't make no damn sense. And so then I'm coming in there and I'm just like, okay, all right. I'm sitting down. And then like they were asking like some like intensive questions. Like I thought I was trying to work at Google, not at like, the park.
Really?
Like they were over here like, so what do you see yourself in 5 years? I was like, okay. All
They were
Why
right.
not
not
the
going to be
skating
around.
No,
Right.
because it's a seasonal gig. It only lasts till March. The fuck are you talking about? What do you care about 5 years for? You should be, where do I see myself in a month? That's what you should be asking.
No,
Yeah.
for real.
Like
You
it
gonna
was
be
just,
here for
it
the
was
next
just
couple months? Yes or no?
yeah, I will be. That because we talked about it. Already told you about it. So
That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
no, it was just silly. But and then like I had to get some shit notarized. Do you know that you cannot go to a post office and get anything notarized in New York? Post offices are not notaries, and do you know
But you
most
got to
banks
get an
are not
individual
notaries.
notarizer, like the ones that
Yes,
come to
man.
your
I
house.
had to.
Yeah,
had
they
to
charge like
fucking-
an
I had
extra
to
do it online.
$25.
Right, but I didn't go to them. I didn't find them. I found a lady that was in the area. Shout out to Tina Lee. I think Tina Lee Jones. I think shout out to her. She came
Tina
in
Lee
there
Jones.
Y'all
and
didn't
handled
even
it.
know the problems in New York.
And that was a strange scenario too. I went to the thing, right? Because like you look it up online, right? It ain't like it's like a sign somewhere that says notary here. No, it's
Right.
like it's almost like you going to buy stuff on the black market. The shit was crazy. So I go in the office building, talk to the security guard. They're like, "Oh no, she gonna come down and get you." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Not
And
8
then-
times.
And
Snap once. Like
right,
what?
no, and then this is the kicker. So then when she gets downstairs, right? I think it's her. I'm like, "Hey," she's like, "How'd you find me?" Not hello, not hello, not what can I do for you? Not anything. Just
She wanted to make
how'd
sure you
find me?
wasn't the feds. Like, what's going on?
Clearly she doing something illegal. Because that sounds sketchy.
Like it was legit office space. Like it looked like any other no. I was like, it
Just
looked
because
better
you
than
got
other
legit
notaries.
office space don't mean you legit business.
She just tax fraud on the
I've been to
side.
people's houses. I've been to people's houses as notaries. Like this looked more legitimate, like than anything I've seen as a notary. But I was like, what is? But she also does fingerprinting, so like I was maybe that was part
So
of it.
she can steal your identity.
Maybe I don't know.
That you
If
up
that's
for a
what happened, then
crime.
she's welcome to it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's what went down, but you know what? We're gonna shout out Tina Lee Jones
It's too soon to
anyway.
tell.
Because thank you.
We'll check
for
back
that
in a couple
notary.
years.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't disparage. This is a black-owned business, a black woman right here in New York trying to do her thing. She's
Black people scam all day, B.
I mean, I will say though that she definitely was like, okay. And then like she didn't really give me much energy, but she definitely gave me enough energy to be like, okay, the notary is this much, and I do take tips. Thank you for that energy. I appreciate that.
This goes back to the tipping conversation. It's getting out of control in this country.
Right.
Like,
But the notary was just $2, so I expected to pay $5.
Oh.
Well, I just gave her the $5.
I would have thought it was at least 10, so that's good. Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
And then she was like, okay, so make sure you give me a 5-star rating on Google. Okay, now you're asking. What's going on? What's going on here?
I am weak.
Shout
What
out
is
to Tina Lee.
happening?
Shout out to her. Shout out to you. I love you. I threw her the
Shout
5
out to
stars.
you.
She's great. But you know who
Shit.
else is great? You know what else is great actually? The streets are great. And there's information in those streets, and that shit sometimes is enormous. It's great. It's humongous, and we have one person that can deal with that enormity. Her name is Les, the homie in your head, and it's time for the Bulletin Board. Les, take it away.
All right. So I have a strike one, caught you by surprise update.
Of course you do.
So this is great news. SAG-AFTRA. I always want to say AFTA, but AFTRA. Negotiators have actually approved a tentative agreement that will end the 118-day strike, which is the longest in history, against the film and TV studios, which means these actors can get back to work. They can get to promoting their upcoming movies that are coming out. It also means the rest of this 2023-2024 TV season, may be saved a little bit. It's been a little sketchy because we're like, are we going to get these shows? Are they going to be able to do
Who
it?
knows if they even have time to film all that shit
I know.
and then get it out and cut
I
and
know.
stuff. You talking about, because what is this, November? I don't know.
Yeah, they say they can save it, but it's gonna look totally different from what we're used to, of course. But they said if this strike had lasted any longer, then of course movies that are supposed to come out next summer will be affected and stuff like that. So they were just eager to come to some, agreement. So from what we know, the deal includes the first ever protections for actors against artificial intelligence, which we know that was a big, big issue. And most pay minimums will actually increase by 7%, which is 2% more than what the Writers Guild of America and the Directors Guild of America received in their deal. The deal also includes a streaming participation bonus as well as increases in pension and health contributions, very important. And the union actually said that the contract is worth more than $1 billion in total. So they were going hard. They got what they wanted for the most part for now. However, this is only going to last about 3 years.
It just feels a little light still. It still feels light.
Well, yeah, but I remember watching Tyler on, was it The View last week? He was on one of these shows last week promoting his new documentary coming out. And he was saying it's a win for now. We take what we can get now because that's edging us closer to what, we want for the next time. So when 2026 rolls around, they'll start the negotiations all over again. But yeah, it was a unanimous vote, which is very rare. And so right now, it just seems like all is well. Actors can get back to work, which they need to do so desperately just for their livelihood. So this is a win. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll applaud them. So good job, you guys.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to my next story. I titled this one Down But Never Out. I thought this was like very inspirational, which is why I wanted to include it. But, last Tuesday was voting, of course. Hope y'all went out there and voted. So the exonerated Central Park 5 member, Yusef Salaam, actually won a seat on the New York City Council. So I wanted to include this. I think it just shows that no matter what you go through, what circumstances you may have been born into or situations you may have been in, unbeknownst to your own activity, like you can overcome whatever life throws your way. So the victory, as we know, comes more than 2 decades after DNA evidence was used to overturn the convictions of Salaam and 4 other Black and Latino men in the 1989 rape and beating of a white jogger in Central Park. Salaam was in prison for almost 7 years. So he identifies as a Democrat. He'll represent, Tristan, a central Harlem district on the city council.
I'm sure he will.
Harlem, as you say. That sound okay? Anyway. So, having run opposed for the seat in one of many, I know you're not making that face because y'all ain't no better. So having run opposed for the seat in one of the
authentic. It feels authentic more.
That
Like
is
yours
it?
feel like Harlem. Like I feel like there were whores here.
Okay,
There were
wait, so you
whores that
say
live- Harlem.
Harlem.
What?
Harlem. Child, who sounds better? Harlem.
I'm sorry,
I
but
can't
not
do it
you,
right now.
Leslie.
That was wild.
Yeah,
Well,
that
not him either. Anyway, back to my story. So,
was not good.
neither is. We're twins, so we're the same. So he ran unopposed for the seat in one of many local elections, which played out across New York State last week, and he won the primary election in a landslide. And he campaigned on easing poverty and combating gentrification in Harlem. And he often mentioned, of course, his conviction and imprisonment, and that was a strong talking point for him. So he's quoted saying that he really is the ambassador for everyone's pain. In many ways, he went through that for his people, so he can now lead them. For him, this means that he can really become his ancestors' wildest dream. So again, I just thought this was an inspirational story to include today. So people, y'all can go out there and be anything you want to be. It doesn't matter your circumstances, what you may experience. Just keep pushing forward.
Hi, man.
Open it up. This next story, there's a lot to it. So I do want to take our time on it, but I want to just give a trigger warning right now for those who are listening. It does have to do with domestic violence. So if that is, a trigger or a sore spot, you don't want to hear it, then I would say stop it now and then just fast forward to our next segment. So this one I titled Don't Leave Your Girl Around Him, part 2, though, because it's not really an update. It's another part to what we discussed when we started this cycle up again. So as most of our listeners know from the weekend, events and headlines, Keke Palmer accused her ex-boyfriend, Darius Jackson, of physical and emotional abuse. And she wrote in court documents that he has repeatedly attacked her, trespassed at her home, and just became very frustrated with their 8-month son, Leotis. Call him Leo for short. So Keke's request for a temporary restraining order against Darius was actually granted by Judge Wendy Wilcox, according to NBC News. In her document, she said that the abuse happened throughout their 2-year relationship. So I know when this news first broke, people were like, oh, it must have happened after the Usher situation. But according to Keke, it's been throughout the entire 2 years. So Usher wasn't the cause of this behavior, I'll say. And it did not stop even after their breakup in early October. So if you put the timeline together, they did break up after that situation. But of course, there were underlying situations that we weren't privy to for their breakup. So she wrote that since the split, he has become even more unhinged, volatile, and dangerous. And she fears for both her safety and their son's safety. So because of the alleged abuse, she filed for a temporary restraining order, and she's also seeking sole custody of their son. The petition for the restraining order asks that Darius be prohibited from contacting Keke, and he must stay at least 100 yards away from both of them, the son and Keke. So after she filed the documents, Darius actually posted a photo on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, holding their son, saying, "I love you, son. See you soon." So that could be looked at as like crazy because it's like, you're supposed to be staying away from her. Is that low key like threat? Like, what's going on
like
here?
that? The kid can't even read. Why are you
Attention, just attention seeking. So, the petition details multiple times that Keke said she was allegedly physically attacked by Darius and actually suffered alleged emotional abuse from him as well. The most recent alleged abuse toward Keke actually happened November 5th, so very recent. After the couple's breakup, she said that she was at her home talking on the phone to her mother when she was startled to see Darius burst through her bedroom door because they weren't living together and she did not invite him over. So Darius, according to the petition, was filming Keke on his cell phone and demanded to see their son. She asked him to leave, but he refused to do so. And she's quoted saying that she tried to remain calm, but as I was again asking him to leave, he stood up from the chair, walked towards me, and made sure there was no furniture between us. He was yelling, leaning into me, getting into my face, and at that point he lunged at me, grabbing at my neck, my face, and he knocked me backward over the couch, stole my phone out of my hands, and then ran out of the house. There were pictures released of steals from the camera inside her home. So the pictures that were released on Instagram that I saw, that's of this incident where you can see him like over her, and there's like a whole bunch of different pictures that show them like struggling and stuff like that. So that's what those were. So Keke said Darius attempted to drive away when she blocked his exit with garbage cans. He allegedly almost hit her with his car. The police were called. And after interviewing Keke, her sister, and Darius, police told him that he needed to leave and just warned him not to come back. And then they encouraged her to file the domestic violence restraining order, which she did. So several of the alleged incidents were witnessed by both of her parents, Sharon and Larry Palmer, her sisters and her friends, and then by the surveillance camera in her home. So she said that Darius would go to couples therapy and things would get better for some times, but then they would always get bad again. So she was trying to make it work, I guess trying to hold her family together, which a lot of, people do in situations like this, but there will be no change in behavior, essentially. The actress says she filed for the petition without telling Darius, writing that she feared for her and Leo's safety. She's quoted saying, "I'm fearful of what retaliatory actions Darius may take against me, including harming or taking our son away, if I give him notice of my request for protection." And so right now we know that there is a hearing for the case scheduled for December 5th. There's still stuff playing out online. Even today, I saw her mom and Darius's mom going back and forth through text message because apparently Keke's mom threatened to shoot Darius. So then his mom stepped in and was like, that's not a smart thing to do. And then Keke's mom well, if he trespasses on her property, she has the right to protect herself and her son in her home or whatever. And she also said that Darius has struck his own sister before. And then there was also a tweet from his older brother, who is Sharonis Jackson, who played Joe on Insecure that we know. And he basically was calling Keke a big manipulator and a liar and stuff like that. He since deleted that. But him and Keke's mama was going back and forth, and she was basically saying your brother is a violent person, and he was like, man, that's nothing, I used to be like that too. So then his baby mama, who played what was her name?
Herring?
Yeah, Dominique Penn, something like that. She
Tasha,
was on
maybe?
Insecure. I can't remember the bank teller the first season, the one Lawrence was with. She had a baby in real life with her.
Zaddy girl.
Who?
No.
That's the Zaddy girl. That's the Zaddy.
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
Zaddy, yeah.
Yeah. So she stepped in and basically alluded to the fact that, Sharonis used to put his hands on her as well and stuff like that because they have a kid together. So it's a lot. All the family members are getting involved. There's a lot playing out on social media. So, of course, people have their opinions. People have their opinions. And it's a terrible situation all the way around because, again, we love Keke. Aside from that, just seeing, a woman especially, but like any person in a domestic situation when there's kids involved, it's just a really, really ugly situation that's playing out right now. But I wanted to lay out all the facts that we know for now, because I know there's probably more that may end up coming out, especially after the hearing and stuff like that. So what are y'all thoughts and opinions on this entire situation?
That's a difficult situation. Like you said, my heart goes out to everybody involved, especially little baby Leo, because that's sad. And kids are so innocent and everything. So, but that's a lot, man. That's fucking crazy. And I don't know. I'm gonna wait till we hear
Not
more
surprised?
information. Yeah, I was about to say, because that nigga was acting a little crazy
know.
over that Usher situation. Like, and then the stuff he be
Very
tweeting
controlling.
and stuff sounds crazy. Like, he's a little off to me.
I agree. We right here.
I think we just need to reserve judgment, because like right now it sounds crazy, but I really feel like I've only heard from one side, and I feel like I really need to hear, like, at least, like, I need to at least hear him try to explain, because then, like, that's gonna give me some more insight.
But what's the
Because
explanation when you see the pictures? But what's the
yeah, but
explanation when you see the pictures
it's a
of
picture,
him
it's not a
like?
video. It's a picture,
But
not a video.
so
You don't know
fine,
how long that lasted. Maybe he was
we
just trying to
haven't
scare
seen
her.
the
You
video,
don't
but
know.
Keke has the video, and she used
Then
that in order
we
to
need
get
to
this
then
restraining
we
order,
should
which she was granted. So clearly,
right, but we
Something
should see the
happened in
video
there.
then. In that case, and that's what
well,
I'm saying.
so do y'all think us as the public needs to see all of this?
What
Like, do you
I'm
think we
saying is
should have
this.
seen
This is
the
I
what
don't
I'm
think
pictures?
saying.
so.
What I'm saying is this. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not saying we need to see all of the court documents. What I'm saying is that I can't necessarily give an opinion, because there are parts in this story that don't necessarily like match up like they're supposed to, and it would be
Which
irresponsible of
part?
me to just be like, oh, he's the evil one. Like, I don't necessarily, because the thing is that, first off, I just felt like there was a non-public way to go about this. So if you made it public, that suggests that you want a certain narrative to be there. Because I'm saying that
Well,
most times
Nah,
when
I
you
think
want things
TMZ
to
got the
stay,
documents of the
like,
restraining
that's what
order.
I'm saying. Keke didn't release this, but you know how celebrity business is released and gets out there. Like Keke didn't. I'm sure Keke is fully embarrassed, just like when like that whole like Usher situation happened. Like she spun it to her advantage, being in his video and stuff like that. But I'm sure she didn't want all this attention on her and her baby father. And so once again, I'm sure she didn't want
so
this
we
out in the
so we
public, because this
see
is a
TMZ got to it and broke
embarrassing
it
touch.
that way.
You know how TMZ do? They got people everywhere.
But I just feel
So
like a lot of folks in this situation will want to use the media that way to make sure that the proper narrative is put out there. Now, whether it be right or wrong or whatever happened, you know what I'm saying? With that element, it always makes me a little skeptical, because maybe what if it is? What if it is like she said? What if it is as crazy as she said? Maybe he did put his hands on it, and that's terrible and that's horrible. But what if she was manipulating him? What if she was? You don't know. I don't
So
know.
that means
because
that
she
she deserved
manipulated
to
him,
get
that warrants
beat
him
up.
putting his hands on
No,
her,
what I'm saying is
right?
maybe she manipulated him into doing that because that's what she wanted to
You
occur.
can't manipulate someone into being you. What?
Because the thing is
No,
that I'm
that's
not
That
talking
not.
sounds
about.
crazy.
Well, because the thing is that, let's say there is a situation where she pulled the right pressure points, right, and she wanted that reaction. Now, what if she wanted that reaction? What if she did?
You
I
need to
don't
have
know.
So
enough restraint to not let
I don't.
yeah.
people.
No, but that's the thing. She knew he didn't. She knew he didn't. You see what
So
I'm
it's
saying?
her
We're
fault.
Like,
not
So
about to
now
all
we're
make her the
blaming the
villain.
I'm not
victim.
saying, but that's what, no one is blaming anybody. That's what I'm saying. I want to hear all of the
Smells like it.
information
We
before
don't
I
know
just
what
go
she
ahead and be
did to
like,
deserve
he's a horrible
his
individual.
actions.
No one said that. No one
You
said
did.
Child.
You
that.
just said we
You
don't
No
know
one
what
was
she
did.
did.
You
around.
You
just said
said
that
we
just
don't know what
No.
she
What I'm
did
saying is,
to
like,
warrant his.
what if she
Why would
wanted
she
that
want
response? What if she
the
wanted that
father
response?
of her
Because maybe she
child to
doesn't
put his
like him
hands
and
on
wants him
her?
gone. And she needed a way to make sure that he was gone. You know what I'm saying? Because
No,
the thing
not
is
when
that
there's a baby involved.
if
Because
he
at the
never
end of
put his
the
hands on her, she was never going to be able to get sole custody. You see what I'm saying? There's 1,000 conspiracy theories
So she
you
made
could
him
apply
put
to this.
his
I'm
hands on
not
her so
saying
that she can get
that
full
you're right.
custody.
I
that's a
mean,
grown man.
it's definitely been done before. It's been done.
Nah,
So
people need to
what do you
take
say?
accountability
Like,
for
it
their
definitely
own actions. I feel like saying that whatever
Mhm.
she
right,
did
and
to
hopefully he
manipulate
will
him
do so.
means that he was not in control of himself, and he needs to take accountability for that. No
That's a
matter
grown
what
man.
happened, no matter what she did or what she said, she could have called his dead mama a bitch. You don't put your hands on nobody.
That part.
You
But
know,
that's
I'm not necessarily saying that that's the wrong take. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that that's the wrong take. I'm just
'Cause it's
going to
not.
say, I just feel like if the situation were reversed, I feel like we'd be singing a different tune. We'd be like, he must have did something. Keke had to whip his ass. Like, I just feel like we would be
It's wrong
singing a
for women to
different
put their
tune.
hands on men. I stand
Right,
by
but I
that.
feel like
Anybody put their hands on anybody.
nobody would be over here like condemning Keke. They wouldn't be doing it. That's all I'm saying. I just feel
I
like
would.
let's give it time until we have the full picture. That's all I'm saying. That's
I don't
it.
need time. I see 2020 on this matter. Lock them
Yeah,
up.
That's
Lock
real.
this crazy
Because
tail
I
up.
at
believe
the end of
him.
the day, I want to echo what Sean said. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. But the first thing is that the most important thing is that hopefully the child is okay and people get through this painful time. That's what's most important. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, little baby Leo, I feel like is the biggest loser here at all of this nonsense.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, these are his parents. So
Correct. Correct.
how do you explain this?
Let's
Growing
we
up and
yeah.
just
Because it
being
could
in the
be just
public
as she
eye.
says. It could be
Yeah.
just that he could be mentally unstable, just as she says. It could be just as she says, or it could be something else. I don't know, and I don't want to be over here being like he's horrible. I just don't have enough information to be like he's the horrible person. I'd be just like the judge in the courtroom trying to figure it out.
No, I have
That's
enough
all.
information. He's terrible.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
But I want something to come out later that just shows that like, oh, there might have been a twist, and then y'all have been like,
Ain't no
see,
twist.
That ain't gonna be
see.
one.
Ain't no
What's
twist
wrong with
necessary. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But I'll definitely keep y'all posted as more information comes out about it. But again, unfortunate situation. It really does suck being a celebrity in the public eye to where like all your business is just out there for the world to, like we're doing, have their opinions on it and to discuss it. And so just praying for everybody involved, but especially, of course, Keke, baby Leo. 'Cause I just know this is weighing on her a lot. So yeah, prayers to them. But that's all I have. I feel like that was enough. That was a lot. So
Real
I will
good.
keep my ears to the street and report back next week.
Hey, it's your girl, Sean the Don, and you're now listening to Culture 101 Podcast. You can find us everywhere you find your podcast. We're even on YouTube, so check us out, like, and subscribe.
Indeed.
Hello, guys, and welcome back. Today we have a wonderful show in stock for you. We had to go get an expert for this one because today's title is You're Out Now, So What? And by the out, we mean you're out of the army, you're out of the service, you're out of being Uncle Sam's property as best you can.
Uncle
And
Ben.
today we have a gentleman here that knows he is an expert, okay? A former Army veteran, one of Jersey's native sons, a resident gym rat. You can see how swole he is. And they call him N cubed on the football grid. Nigel Norfleet, welcome to the show.
Thank you,
Welcome.
thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh my goodness, Tristan.
That is
Man,
you think it's not a thing.
Goodness.
when N cubed hits the gridiron, motherfuckers were afraid. I heard about it. I seen the clip. I didn't see it.
Thank you.
Oh my
I'll
goodness.
run with it for now. That's fine.
We love it, bro. We love it.
Oh my
But yes, bro,
gosh.
thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. And Veterans Day just passed, so thank you for your service, brother.
Yeah,
We
thank
really
you
for your
Should we
service.
salute or no?
No,
No, we ain't got to salute. We got this right here.
I'm calling Sean. I'm like, take it back, y'all. No
Thank you for your
disrespect.
service, sir. We definitely appreciate that. But we want to jump right into it, brother. So we're gonna hit you with some statistics because we love statistics here at this show.
do.
Yeah.
There are more than 350,000 Black and African American active duty and select reserve members, and over 2.4 Black and African veterans in the U.S. So the first question is, brother, why did you join? Why did you join up to the Army?
So honestly, I didn't have a story of like, oh, from the country. No, I was just trying to make a way for myself.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was in for 20 years. My mom was in the Air Force for 6, and I was just trying to find my way.
She said, "Go, mama." She said, "Go, mama."
Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. But, yeah, I was just trying to find my way, and I was just trying to figure out what my next step was. And like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to join the military. I had different reasons behind it, um, but it was more so just like you gotta make a name for yourself.
Got you. If you don't mind, would you mind sharing your rank, sir, while you were in?
No, I was a specialist. I was an E4
No
specialist.
doubt. Okay.
As they like to call it, E4 Mafia.
That man worked for a living. We like it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Definitely did.
Absolutely.
So did you join right after high school?
Yeah.
No, I joined late. I joined honestly at 26.
That's a little
Okay.
late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
26.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But going into that, it kind of goes to finding myself. You work different jobs, you try different experiences, and you're like, okay, what's next? And I sat with it for a while. Uh, Honestly, I started thinking about it at like 19, and I was just like, okay, that's cool. But now you got to start thinking about what's the world like, right? And what's going
Mhm.
on in the world. And I spend a lot of my time just like, am I about to sign up for some BS?
Right.
And
Well,
that's why it ultimately took so long.
mhm.
I mean, you stayed out the Marines, so you did what you could. So we respect
Yeah,
it. We
nah,
get it.
exactly,
We,
exactly.
we
Y'all
get it.
funny.
So how were you recruited? How did you hear about it? Was it something online? You talked to somebody? Yeah, I mean, or is it just your parents? I guess maybe.
It was a mixture of a few things. So the actual recruitment process itself, it was more so me going into the office, but I was around it. My friends joined. Like I said, my family was in. But the story of me getting recruited, I was trying to join the Navy first,
Interesting.
and I was trying for a few years. I've always been a bigger guy, so they kind of slow rolled me. I had to lose some weight, and I lost it. And it's signing day for the Navy, and I realized that I didn't know how to swim. So I was like, no, you can't set yourself up for failure. Um, you should probably not join the Navy. Long
Okay.
story short, they left me at the processing center. It's called MEPS, Military Entry Processing Center, or something like that. Don't quote me verbatim. My apologies.
That sounds
Um,
right.
but so they left me there. They got mad at me. Oh, you're wasting our time. This, that, and the third. They left.
Mm.
I've been there since 4 a.m. My phone was dead, so I went to the Army's office and I was like, "Hey, can I use the phone? I got to call a ride home." Just so happens there was a recruiter that was from my side of town. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Philadelphia." He said, "I got to go to a seminar there. I'll just give you a ride."
Okay.
Mm.
The rest is history.
And the
For
rest
better
is
or worse,
history. And the rest is
yeah,
history.
So when you say
yeah.
you
And shout out to
realized you
that
didn't know
recruiter.
how to swim, what does that mean?
All right, so
Like
so
you
I
could swim
take
a
my
little bit
physical, right? I go through.
beforehand, but
Like, did they ask you like so you can swim, right? And you were like, ooh, about
oh,
that.
now that you
No,
say
so
that,
I
I
was
forgot about
watching
swimming.
videos. Yeah, I was watching videos on YouTube about people's experience in Navy boot camp, and they was talking about the swim test, and I was looking into like the the specifics of it, and I was just like, oh, I can't do that. So during my whole process with the Navy, you go, you do your physical, you do your paperwork and everything like that, and I got my job already. All I had to do was press enter, and I would have signed my contract. I went to the
Did
bathroom.
they
I looked like,
did they make you take the ASVAB or anything before you did it?
yes, yes,
Okay.
and
Mhm.
that was cool. I hate that test so much because everybody says study for it, but like, how do you study for something that doesn't have a direct? You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff that's thrown at you. So I went to the bathroom and I was like, "What are you doing, bro? You can't even swim." And he's like, "Well, they'll teach you how to swim." I was like, "No, I just wanna opt out." So I go back in the office. I sit down. I look at the guy dead in his face. His name was Petty Officer Williams. I never forget him. I said, "Hey, man, you're gonna be mad at me." He was like, "Why? I can't do this." He's like, "What do you mean you can't do it?" I was like, "I can't swim." He laughed. I'm so serious.
Mhm.
And then from there, it kind of just took off. Army office took me. He was like, "Come on, we got you." And I'm here.
Was it just like that day that just made it the Army, just like that experience? Because like you didn't think maybe Air Force, Coast Guard, something like that?
Uh, I was back and forth because my dad was in the Army and my mom was in the Air Force. I had to be real with you. I walked in the Air Force recruiting ring when it first started. That was my first choice. And the guy looked at me. He said, "If you don't have this score, we're not taking you." So I just
Scoring
turned
what?
around and walked in.
Scoring what was the score for?
For the ASVAB because
Oh, got
Air
you. Okay.
Force, he
Okay.
was like, "If you're not scoring here, we're not going to take you." So I just walked out. I was like, "Okay, well, I didn't really want to do this anyway," and that was
That's real.
it. And then I just kept playing with it, and then eventually it became a time to make a move. You either crap or get off the pot. So I had to do what I had to do.
Did you receive any bonuses or incentives? Incentives. Did you receive bonuses or incentives for joining up with the Army at that time?
No, um, because of how everything panned out. Um, I played it horribly on my end because I didn't ask any questions. I already made this big deal to my family. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm joining the Navy. And now I'm sitting here. I just turned down the Navy's contract. I'm like, I can't go back home without something to show for it. So I didn't ask any questions. I just said, "Hey," and I used
Mm.
to regret it. I don't regret it so much now. I used to regret it listening to everybody's bonuses that they got, but it wasn't in the cards for me, and that's something that I messed up. So I just had to live with it in a sense.
I feel that. No, it's
Would you
definitely a good
have bought
lesson to learn.
a
You won't make that
charger
mistake again.
I like they all do.
like they all
He
do?
would have. That would have
Yeah,
been
you
his
would have
first
bought a charger.
purchase. Uh-huh.
I
Always
would
the
have blacked it out.
charger.
I would
It's
have blacked it
always the
out. It would have been
charger.
good.
With the LED lights at the
But
bottom. Every time somebody like
Oh
that
my
ride past me, I'd be
gosh.
like, he in the army.
instead, I just got a Ram. So next step up.
Ram is
I'm
good, man. It's
All
got a
in the
Hemi in it.
family.
Yeah.
So when you were like deciding that boom, I'm gonna go to the Navy and then pivoted to the Army, in your mind, did you already have like a plan, like I'm gonna do it for X amount of years, get this type of experience and then get out, or I'm gonna do it until I can retire and get out? Like what was that like plan that you had in your head going into this?
So I won't say that the plan was to do 20. My plan was never to do 20 years. My
Okay.
dad did 20 years, and he used to always say, make the most of it. I loved my time in. That's not the same time frame that we're living in.
Right.
So going into it, I was like, I'm gonna take this one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one contract at a time, and see what happens. If I hate it, at least I'm able to stand on that hill and say I made the decision for me. I got to experience it. It wasn't worth it, or whatever the case may be. I was happy with however it came out because that was the decision that I decided to make.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So, how long were you in, and then when did you and then why did you decide to leave?
I wasn't in for long. I was in for 4 years,
Okay.
and I decided to leave for the simple fact that it was time to go. I got hurt. I got surgery on my hip, and then I started gaining weight because I can't really work out, do my PT like that. Now that's getting in the way of promotion. That's getting in the way of different things like that, and you start looking at the things going on around you, and the way the world is. It's time to get out of Dodge while I can,
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel
So
that.
that's really what it came down to. I yeah, that's really what it is. I can't really sit here and say, oh no, I hated it or nothing like that. The Army was good to me more or less. I just made a decision for me.
I got you.
Were
Did you
you
envision? Oh, go ahead.
I just had a quick question. So you mentioned having to have surgery on your hip. Were you injured like on the job because of the Army, or was that just something that happened separately that just
Uh,
affected?
it
Yeah.
was it was on the job. I was overseas in Kuwait, and I was a truck driver, so I was strapping down my load,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a big load, and I kind of took a fall.
Oof.
But when I took the
Oh,
fall, you're moving and grooving, you're working, you're not really.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, so it was just like, all right, cool. That stung a little bit. Get up and keep rolling. Um, and the days went by, the weeks went by, and it just became worse. And I just kept on going for the whole 9 months. When we got back stateside, that's when
Wait,
it was like,
what? You didn't get checked out the whole 9 months?
I got checked out, but they was just like, you're a big guy. You got a bad hip, you'll be okay.
What?
Wow.
that sounds like the Army. That sounds
Yeah,
about right.
and
That
here,
sounds
take
about
this
right. Yeah.
ibuprofen,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're fat, lose weight. Oh, okay, cool.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Um, and then it took them. So we get home, and we got fields coming up. We're in the field, we're training. I'm like, dude, I'm not going. I'm in pain. So I don't want to sit here and bash them and say they thought I was lying, but sometimes when so many people are trying to get out of certain things, people will tell the craziest lies. So now it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I didn't know what I had available as far as like what I could do. I just thought, you go to sit call in the morning. That's where you go if you're not feeling good or whatever. Put it down, on paper, and they'll eventually see you. Eventually, I had a sergeant that came to me and said, "You can go make your own appointment and
Mm.
go." So I went and got an MRI, and that's when I realized I had a torn labrum and
Mm,
a
mm.
bunch of other small tear ligaments, and I had to get a what's it called, microscope, and to
Oh,
clean out the
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I had to get that cleaned out, and then from there it was completely off the bone. So they had to like put a
Damn.
new one in there,
Ooh.
reattach it. But it took them 2 years, almost 2 years.
Since
Yeah.
Yeah,
falling.
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds about right.
Wow. So you were in straight pain for 2 years.
hmm But I
Oh
have a high
God.
pain tolerance, and I was just thinking like, all right, well, it's just like you're sore from working out. Just keep it rolling,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did.
But
Wow.
at least you knew enough to listen to your body to go and get that looked at. Too often,
Exactly.
people ignore that. You're like, I'll be all right. and then your leg fall off because you didn't going to go get it checked out,
And it got to
So,
the point to where I'll be sitting down, and I would sit down, and like it would feel like a click, like it was a snag. So I would have to like
oh yeah,
reposition.
because there's no padding there anymore. Yeah,
Exactly. I would have to
right.
reposition, sit down, and like get back up. And I was like, no, I can't do this. I'm at the time I'm 29 years old. I'm not about to be out here with hip problems. No.
Right. That's
So
crazy.
So then, when you did decide to make your exodus, like, did you envision what your life would look like after that? Like, were you planned up, or you were just like, no, it's just time to go, so I'm done, and I'll figure it out later?
I'll be real with you. It was a little bit of both. I used to hear people say all the time, make sure you have a plan, make sure you have a plan. Life is going to be hard. I'm like, nah, I'm a grown man. I was in the civilian world before I'd be okay. And that's true. However, until you're in the thick of things and you're trying to figure out your next move, you don't really understand. Like, it can get a little real. You can be like, okay, job force is different. You don't, you got to think about now. You go from receiving an automatic paycheck the first and the 15th, no matter what, to now it's just like I really got to figure out how I'm about to do this. You get what I'm saying? So the most stressful thing for me was finding a place, finding an apartment, and then from there finding a job and making sure everything lined up. But honestly, it wasn't too hard. It's just you can, take a mental note like, okay, I can see why somebody would feel this way. I was talking to a buddy. He told me, he said, I don't have these thoughts, but he was like, I can see why some veterans that have been through combat, been through, pardon my language, hell, try to harm themselves because they don't care after you get out. So I never went through that, thank God. But like, it's out there, and I can see how it happens.
Well, see, that brings us really right into the next question. That's the excellent segue because it's like because we do love the statistics here. 59% of Black and African veterans respondents characterize their employment transition as difficult or very difficult. So, I mean, like, how was your transition specific? Like, did you find it to be like difficult? Like, I know, like you were saying, like it was kind of tough, but
Mm.
did you face like any proposed what's I'm looking for prejudices because you had been in the army? They were like, I don't know if we want to hire him because of that or anything like that.
I can't say that I have no.
Uh,
And if it did happen, it wasn't in my face. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
My biggest thing was, I'll be real with you. It's kind of a humbling moment because you get out and you're like, I should be able to get whatever job I want to because I just this is one
Started
of the
by
reasons why I
country.
enjoy. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So when you realize it's not always like that, sometimes you take a pay cut, or sometimes you're
Mm-hmm.
working a job where it's just like I hate this, but it's getting the bills paid. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I won't say that I had those issues as far as experiencing the prejudice. Like I said, if it was a thing, I didn't notice it, but I did have my own little struggles because I had to humble myself and take a seat. Like, dude, you're not as hot as you think you are. You're still the average Joe, just like everybody else. And once you get past that, the rest of the world will open up to you.
Have you had any issue since being out accessing your benefits in any way?
Don't hit
Okay,
tell
all
it.
right, all right. Here we go.
It's
um,
safe space.
that's that's loaded. That's a loaded question because but it's not fully on them. I was dragging my feet because I was so stressed out. Like you look up, you got 6 months left. Okay, I'll get it done. 3 months left. Holy crap, it's time to move out. So now I got to start processing on my paperwork. So it's just like I'm still waiting on my benefits, but they're saying that they need proof of my surgery, which is weird to me because you should have proof of my surgery.
Like, because you
They
got
got
it
a
done through them, right?
yes, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm scratching my head. Like, why do you need proof of something that you can look up on
Y'all
my
Right.
did.
file?
Yeah.
So yes, I have been having trouble, but I can't say that it's been on them because I should have handled things when I was 8 months out, 6 months out. So now when it comes to July 15th and I'm getting out, it's just a matter of okay, you got another week before your benefits come or something like that. That's so
Gotcha.
I feel like it's 50-50 for me personally.
Okay.
So during your 4 years in the army, were
Mhm.
you said that you were stationed where?
I was stationed out here in Fort Hood or Fort Cavazos now, as they call
Okay.
it.
Mm.
Okay, and where's
But you
that?
spent time in, you said Kuwait. It's by me. It's like 20 minutes
It's
away
in
from
Texas, yeah.
Temple.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't familiar at all.
So
I'm like, I don't know what that is.
oh no, my bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I had two deployments, three technically if you count going from one country to another while already, in country.
Mm-hmm.
But my
Mm-hmm.
very first deployment was in Kuwait for 9 months. Um, that was cool. Kuwait is like a lot of times people that's been through things call it a vacation because you really just do your job. There's
Yeah,
nothing
I've heard
crazy
that.
going on. I'm a
Isn't it
truck
hot there?
driver. It's hot. It's hot as hell.
Like, how
It's
hot did it get while you were out there?
We got off the bus at 6 a.m. It was like 90 degrees already.
Yeah.
Um,
Child.
Oof. Yeah.
and I'm sitting there in formation, and I'm just like, yo, what did I just get myself into? Um, it's nothing but like sand and desert, and I was just like, yo, I don't know exactly what I thought this was, but this isn't it. Um, but it was smooth though. It was smooth.
And where
Okay, where
else?
else
Where
were
did you
you
go after
deployed?
Kuwait?
I've been to Germany and then Poland. Poland,
Okay.
I got back from Poland in December. That's when I got my surgery. I went over there. That was a that was a whole debacle within itself.
Mm.
um, and then they sent me back home for my surgery, and then my surgery recovery time just led me up to the point of me getting out.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
that just
Can we
lined
ask
up.
what the debacle was?
I'm sorry.
My bad, Sean. I was just curious what the debacle in Poland was.
Oh no, so it was a matter of getting there. So I've been
Oh,
dealing with
okay.
this hip thing, right?
Right, right.
And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to go. Like I'm in pain. I was told for 6 months as we were planning for it, don't worry, you're not going.
Mm.
So we're information and they're calling out names. They're like Specialist Norfleet. I'm like,
Come again?
About that.
they're like, go over there. So I went, and then I had a meeting with like the division surgeon or whatever. She like handles, she oversees all of the things that go on with soldiers and their surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked me dead in my eyes. She goes, "Do you want to go on this deployment?" I said, "It's not a matter of me not wanting to go or not. I understand it's my job, but I've been dealing with this hip situation for 2 years now. I've been to every training. I've been to every range. I want to be taken care of." She looked at me. She said, "I understand. Don't worry. We're gonna take care of you." Okay, cool. A little bit after that, I get a text message from my NCO, from my sergeant, I believe. He goes, "Pack your bags." I'm like, and this is like 48 hours out. So this was a Friday. He was like, Monday we're leaving, or Sunday, and he's like Tuesday. I forget the exact time frame, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a lot. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay, so I fought it as much as I could, but this was a mouth to mouth conversation. I didn't have nothing on paper, so it was really a
Mm,
general's word versus little old me. So
Mm.
mm, mm.
you know.
So I know that being in the army is can be very taxing mentally, physically, and everything. And a lot of people, when they come
Hmm.
home, they get into different vices. Did you pick up any vices during your time?
Hey guys, it's your boy Tris. And guess what? We got new merch. That's right, new merch. Come check it out. Culture101podcast.com. Stay tuned, stay locked in. And guess what, guys? Welcome back. But you know what? It's time to do it for the culture. Do
Hey.
it, do it, do it for the culture. Do it, do it, do it.
Ow.
Shauna Don, take it away.
So, this week on Do It for the Culture, we are going to be talking about a 21-year-old black woman who has made history by being the youngest black woman to open and own a homeless shelter in LA. So,
Wow.
shout out to her. Her name is Miriam Haregot. Maybe.
Sorry,
Sorry if I fucked
say
up
that
your
one more
last
time.
name.
Miriam what?
Miriam Haregot. Don't know if
Okay,
that's it. But
okay.
she's an African American woman from Los Angeles who decided for her 21st birthday she wanted to turn an abandoned church into a homeless shelter. Yeah, that is so dope. She's the youngest person to open a homeless shelter in the whole state of California. She said in a quote, "It feels good to be able to provide people a sense of humanity because the world just lacks it, so much so. It feels good to be the change that you want to see." Following the shelter's renovation, Miriam launched the PACT project, which PACK, y'all know I got a little accent, but that stands for People
Mm-hmm.
Advocating Community Kinship. It's a group of entrepreneurs and creative youth from South Central that aim to provide food, housing, and educational programs to those who are homeless and at promise kids in LA. So every month, the PAC Project goes to Skid Row to serve up hot meals to the homeless, and they call it Feeding the Homies. Isn't that cute?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
Did it
that's
say
very
like?
creative.
Okay.
So
Did it
as
say
y'all
how she
know,
like? Oh, I'm sorry. I just had a question on like how she bought it. Like, did she get a loan in order to
right?
renovate it and purchase
I
it?
couldn't
Did she
find
have
any
help? Like, did it go
information
into?
on how, if she crowdfunded
Mm,
this or anything. All the articles I
right.
found were just
Okay.
talking about what happened, but we don't know how she was able to fund this. But I do want to shout
Okay.
out the her nonprofit, the PAC Project. You can find them on Instagram. They don't have a website, but you can find them on Instagram as the PAC Project org. And there, if you go to their Instagram, they have a link in their bio where you can donate cash, where you can volunteer to help, and they even have a homeless feeding the homeless playlist. So, with some really good songs on there, it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's
So,
dope.
shout
There's
out to
stir fry on
Miriam
there.
and her. I see
Not
what you
stir
did
Just
fry.
there.
asking. I just figured it
I
was
see what you
appropriate.
did there.
You know.
But shout out to her, beautiful young girl doing great things. Oh, I don't know if I said this, but this is what she wanted for her
That's amazing.
21st birthday. So this was an
You did, yeah.
amazing thing that she's doing for the people in LA. And as y'all know, Skid Row, I was looking up some information on Skid Row. Now it's 50 blocks. It's 50 whole
Yeah.
blocks. That's
Harlem.
insane.
I
Then
mean,
you said
damn
the
near.
size of Harlem.
That's
The size of Harlem
I
filled
mean, because
with
yeah.
what do you
Well,
not
I don't know
homeless,
if it's as
but
many avenues wide, but yeah,
True. True. True.
yeah,
it's
True.
50 blocks
yeah,
long for
man.
sure. According to Google. 50 blocks long, and it was established in the 1800s. So it's been around for a long
Oh, I
time.
didn't know it's been
Yeah.
around that long.
I
Dang.
mean, it wasn't always
Oh
intended
yeah.
for that purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was there before.
Somebody grandma been out there
But
100 years. I'm sorry.
Maybe since the 40s, but I don't even think that long.
I'm sorry. You know when the thought just slips out. I said the quiet part out loud. I'm so sorry, y'all.
I don't think you have to
nah,
apologize. I think it's
so
okay.
it wasn't
I
until
think you'll be all right.
1975 that it was starting to be
Okay.
used for
Yeah.
homeless people,
Okay.
or
Okay.
those who are
Yeah, because
unhoused, I should
So somebody
say, the
auntie,
unhoused
not grandma.
community.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got
so
it. Got
somebody's
that's
auntie.
still
Yeah, yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up. It's still fucked up.
But
Actually, no, somebody's grandmother. 'Cause that's 50 years ago.
Yeah, it'd be young grandmas. I had an old grandma, but a lot of y'all have young grandmas, so that's real.
You know,
I got
No
a
it's
tea,
young
no
mama
shade.
and a young grandma.
they used to be young. They used
Like
to be young. You know
some
what I mean?
people's moms is the age of what my grandma would have been if she was still alive. Like it's crazy,
Probably
crazy.
mine. Mm-hmm.
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 But yeah, shout out to Miriam. You are doing beautiful things out here in the street. We love you. We love to see it. If y'all can donate, click the link in their bio and donate to the PAC Project org.
That's dope
Absolutely.
because most 21-year-olds just want to get lit for their 21st. So that's dope
Mm-hmm.
of her.
I'm gonna
I
tell you what I
applaud her for
didn't
that.
do on
I
my
mean,
birthday. I've done volunteer work on
Oh,
birthdays
what?
before, but not on my 21st. I think on my 23rd and my 24th birthday, I did volunteered at food pantries. So I got all
but
my
that,
friends to come, and we
oh,
Oh,
all
that's
volunteered at the
nice.
food pantry. Yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
really nice. So I told them I didn't want a gift. I just wanted
Oh,
everybody to volunteer. So that was really cool. But I didn't do that on my 21st
oh.
birthday. I'll tell you that. I was definitely at a strip club.
I know that's
So
right. Oh, well, there we go.
shout
I
out to
just knew you
her.
were gonna be like, I volunteered for the Broccoli Fest tickets, and I was gonna be
I
like, oh
did
yeah,
that as
that's
well. I
right.
volunteered for Broccoli Fest tickets too, but that
I,
wasn't my
I remember,
birthday. It was a
yeah, I remember you
different,
doing that.
That's real.
yeah.
That's
So the
real.
first year you only had to do one event, and then the next year you had to do like 3, 4 community service events to get a broccoli
They
ticket.
made y'all work for it.
They made you work for it after
They
that.
put y'all to work.
And the lineup wasn't even all that special that year. I remember that.
Yeah. But that's
You
all I
know.
got for
So,
y'all this week, and do it for the culture. Do it for the culture. Well, we gotta find
well,
a
after
beat
you
because
do it,
everybody
we're gonna
not
take
on
a
the
quick
same one.
break. Like I said, after you do it, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Les, stopping by to let you know we have new merch dropping. Check it all out at culture101podcast.com.
Welcome back. But guys, guess what? It's that time again. That time where we say happy trails, where we say sayonara, where we say so long to you, my friend.
Arrivederci.
Yes, this
I
is
think
out
that's
of the
fine, right?
box. Okay, there
Yeah.
you go. There's your out of the box. Are you happy? I just wanted you to have that moment.
All right.
Anyway, y'all, but before we get up out of here, please like, subscribe, do all the things on all the portals. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your
Push
podcast.
all the buttons.
Exactly, push all the damn buttons. Like you on the elevator, push all the buttons. Have a good time.
Oh, that'd be so annoying.
It is,
Yeah,
but
that is annoying.
but if they wanted to contact us and tell us how annoying it is, how would they do that?
Well, don't tell us we're annoying. Tell us we're great. But you can contact us at contact@culture101podcast.com. That's our email. Or if you want to hop onto the website, it's culture101podcast.com. Scroll all the way down to the first page and leave us a listener letter. Just let us know if you want to be anonymous. Write us about anything. We'll read it loud on the show.
Yes. And if y'all looking for some merch, y'all can find it on our website too.
Oh.
We got all the merch. We got the t-shirts, we got the mugs, we got the stickers, we got the pins, we got the windbreakers. Whatever you're looking for, we got it. So make sure y'all go to culture101podcast.com/shop. We do not have any weapons, but
It's fine.
absolutely
Man can dream.
buy some of our merch.
We're all about
We
peace and
appreciate
love.
We definitely appreciate that, guys. Well, guys, again, this is the end of the show, and we want to shout out again to the young lady who opened that food pantry. What is her name again, man? What is her name?
Miriam. Gotta look back up at her last name.
Haregot, right?
Yes.
Miriam Haregot.
That was it.
Shout out
Miriam
again to
Haregot.
Miriam Haregot. Young Angelino, 21 out there in these streets. She said, I don't need no bottles. I just need this thermos. We're going to give out this soup because that's a beautiful thing. We love it. We definitely love it.
Shout out to her.
But again, guys, that does it for us today. Until the next time, I've been Trist.
It's your girl Les.
And I'm Sean the Don.
And even though these issues may change, the vibe remains the same. We out, y'all.
Bye.